Hello, my name is Stacy Watford, and I'm not advertising this one particular product. What I'm actually trying to do is simply to raise awareness about a situation concerning this product. This is the Snap Diagnostics. It's an actual home test kit for sleep apnea. Before I get into that, let me just say, and for those of you, few of you who may know, I used to own a car that looked just like this. A 2000 Grand Marquis Mercury. Good riding car. Got me back and forth to several places. But back in October of 11th of this year, 2014, I had a car accident. And there she is off of the I-2059 in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. They finally got it turned over, and of course the whole top end is, or the front end, or driver's side is smashed in. Miraculously, I crawled and walked away from this accident by the grace of God. There's another shot. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this awareness out is the reason of the fact that of what caused the accident. Again, thank God that I was the only one involved in this. There was no property damage. There were no other vehicles involved. I basically fell asleep at the wheel, and this is not me, this is just an image, but I fell asleep at the wheel, and when I realized what was going on, tried to overcorrect, went into a medium, flipped the car over, so many things that I don't even remember exactly all of what happened. However, this is the issue of falling asleep at the wheel. Let me give you just an article dealing with this issue. An article published in February 2013 reported that 4.2% of drivers reported falling asleep at the wheel within the previous 30 days. That's 1 out of every 25 drivers. Now think about the multiplicity of cars that are out on the road today. Within the past month, 1 out of 25 drivers have reported falling asleep at the wheel. Now some are not as bad as mine, some are worse. Some will fall asleep at the wheel and catch themselves before anything happens. Some don't. In fact, 2.5% of fatal crashes back in 2009 involved drowsy driving. Interestingly enough, and I don't know that this has so much to do with my situation, but I did find it interesting, and part of this report, part of this article, was that those ages were from 25 to 34, and we young people are always fussing at the older folks about their driving, but the report actually said that folks at 65 and older, or at least from the age of 65, don't fall asleep. It's for those that are from 25 to 34, probably due to fatigue, tiredness of coming back from working a job or whatever. That's your biggest age group who have the prevalence of drowsy driving. My issue is. Or part of my issue, one of the main issues that I have is I have not been getting good rest at all. I was actually in a meeting preaching, and a wonderful meeting preaching, and coming back from that meeting, I had not gotten a lot of sleep, and before I even left the meeting, my wife, before I even left to go down to the meeting in Mississippi, my wife had been wanting me to have this test done, and we'd been talking about having this test done for sleep apnea. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with sleep apnea, and I'm not familiar with all of it, but here's the basic gist of it here. The normal breathing when you're sleeping, of course, the passageways are all open. However, if you'll notice on the left-hand side, or the right-hand side, the passageways are blocked. And, of course, it creates, one of the annoying factors that it creates snoring. And you would think to yourself, yeah, snoring, this is a funny thing. We've seen people snore. We've heard people snore. We've I lived in a house where it was almost a competition to find out who could snore the loudest. It seems like it's a funny thing. However, and I don't know, I haven't read the stats or the reports that all people who snore have a chance of having sleep apnea, but I know I do, and I don't know that I have sleep apnea just yet. One of the reasons why I'm sharing this video is I'm going to show you the testing kit that has come out for sleep apnea and testing for sleep apnea. I'm pretty sure that I have it. I have, from what the doctor has said, I have all the symptoms of sleep apnea, including the tiredness during the day, falling asleep at the wheel, that kind of thing. So this is what they sent me home with, is this SNAP diagnostic. Now, a lot of times, from what I've heard, is that most of the times they will put you in the hospital in a study room or whatever, and they will hook you up similar to the way I'm going to show you in just a few minutes. But they will hook you up, and then you'll have to spend either one night or 2 nights there, which is, if you don't have insurance, is really, really expensive. However, this is a way that actually you can take the test at home, and it's testing it for over a period of 3 days. Excuse me. And so therefore, you get to be in the comfort of your own home, and the system monitors you, and then you just take this back to the doctor. Now, I have not taken this back to the doctor just yet. I'm actually going to be doing this very soon to find out, of course, of the specifics of how bad I have sleep apnea. But let's just show you what's in the contents. Okay, so here we have the contents of the sleep apnea bag. What I'm going to do here is just real quickly, just go through each piece, show you, and of course your doctor, the nurse, will show you how to put all this stuff together. At least mine did, very friendly, and show you how to put all this stuff together. A lot of it's already hooked up for you and everything, but just in case, in fact, there's a DVD and all kinds of stuff in there that'll show you. But just in case you're not familiar with this, just in case you want more information on it, of course there was a website on the bag. I'll go back to that in a little while, but I wanted to just to raise awareness about this, because I know that again, if it had not been for the grace of God, falling asleep at the wheel could have easily taken my life, and that is a constant reminder in the back of my mind. Is, in fact, to describe it, I was so out of it that I don't know, if I would have left this world, if I'd have died, I don't know that I would have been consciously aware of it or not, because I was so out of it. I had fallen asleep and just so out of it. So let me go through this and show you this real quickly. Okay, here's the main hub. We'll talk about some of the buttons and features on here in a few minutes, but this is the main hub. This is the main thing that reads and records. In fact, let me show you, here are some of the inputs that you'll see on here. The input now that I'm highlighting in red, that is actually an SD card reader. I don't know if it works with any SD card, but I know that my nurse put an SD card in there. That's what's going to record your breathing, your heart rate, all that kind of stuff, just like if you were in an actual study at the hospital. You have other inputs. We'll talk about those inputs, except for the USB input. Didn't use that because obviously you have the SD card there. Okay, so this is, of course, obviously the power cord. It's going to plug into the main hub, of course, plug into the power outlet there. Make sure when you're packing all this stuff up to get ready to send it back to the doctor's office, make sure you have theirs and not accidentally put your laptop plug in there too. Make sure you look for the Snap logo there. Just a quick point of advice there. This is the heart rate. They put it on your finger. I'll show you all that in just a few minutes. But this checks your heart rate. This little fun creature that it will show in just a few minutes again when we put everything together. And for those of you that are just techno freaks and everything like that, techno geeks and everything, you'll recognize that this is a audio jack. Well, what's happened is that if you look up at your top right hand corner, that's a microphone going into that breathing tube, and you'll see it in just a few minutes when I put it on for you. Of the fact that it will you breathe into it and it records, of course, your snoring, your breathing, everything else. Heaven help us if I talked in my sleep, because it recorded that too. All right. This goes around. This will check your heart rate as well. It goes around your chest, and again, I'll show you that in just a few minutes. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, turn it on its side, and of course there's a DC 6-volt port there, and you plug the one in. Obviously, you guys know how to do this. Obviously, you plug the one in into the port, the other end into the electrical outlet. The first thing we're going to look at, I'm going to skip the annoying breathing thing to save that for last. The first thing we'll do, this is the cord that plugs into, in this slot, for the chest heart monitor. We'll save that the breathing thing port for last, because this is kind of the way I put it on, and it actually worked better for me to put it on like this. I would snap the chest thing on first. All right. There we go. So, there I am. And as you see how it's above my, it's in the upper part of my chest, and it's going to monitor that chest area. And it's going underneath the arms, and the cord is there. There's a lot of wires. You're going to have to kind of be careful about the wires there. Not too thrilled about this whole process, but if it's going to help me save my life and help me sleep better, then this is important. Okay, so the next the next port is the thing that goes on your finger, for your heart rate monitor that goes on your finger. Of course, plug that in there. And then, of course, that's how it fits on your finger, just like that on your index finger. Make sure that the cord is up. When it's on and you look at it like you're looking at the back of your hand, you notice that there's a red light on, just like if you would see one in the hospital. Alright, last but not least is this wonderful microphone. Again, you can tell it's an audio microphone receiver there. You plug that in, and just for the fun sake of it, that's what it looks like. Again, if you'll look at the right hand side here, you see the cord running out. That's the microphone. It's supposed to... Okay, so it fits around your face. There's a strap that goes behind your head, and of course the smaller almost looks like a vampire teeth. But the smaller end, of course, goes right underneath your nose. It's monitoring, of course, the air flow going through your nose. The other longer appendages that are going down to your mouth, that's monitoring, of course, the airflow going into your mouth. Also recording all those wonderful snoring noises and everything else. So that is that. When you of course, the green button's to turn it on. Once it's turned on, everything is hooked up, and you start to put everything on. It's going to start reading some stuff. It's going to start reading your heart rate. You'll be able to test your microphone, because when you talk through it, there'll be a little monitor there. you hit record and then just go to sleep. Make sure that you're good and tired and go to sleep. I wouldn't advise trying to have a conversation or anything like that. Make sure you're ready to go to sleep when you hit record, because like I said, that is a simple audio recorder. Now it's monitoring your heart rate and all this kind of other stuff as well, but make sure that you're ready to go to sleep when you hit record, okay? All right, I think I've got one more slide. Yes, I've got one more slide. Basically, just you can, of course, you can test. Call the number there if you want more information. Look at the website there if you want more information, guys. And I apologize for going a little longer than what I wanted to go, but please, if you have sleep apnea, or if you think you're in danger of having sleep apnea, if you have tiredness, fatigue, you're irritable, you find yourself even depressed, falling asleep at the wheel, please, guys, have this test done, because it could very well save your life. We laugh at snoring, we laugh at people who snore. I laugh at myself sometimes, trying to catch myself, out of a snore and all this kind of other stuff. But in all seriousness, and I'm not saying again that it's all about snoring, but in all seriousness, this could really save your life if you have this test done, and then they will hook you up. I'll update you with further progress on my experience with this whole thing. Lord willing, sometime in the near future. God bless and have a good sleep.